Hello everyone, welcome to Excel Education. This category of videos, current affairs, multi-choice question with explanation is being created with the sole purpose that it is benefiting you. So with this hope, we shall continue making such videos. So please keep us motivated by liking and sharing our videos. So let us begin our today's video. Starting with the first question, which among the below countries recently allowed for the conversion of the nearly 1500-year-old UNESCO World Heritage Site, Hagia Sophia, from a museum into a mosque? Option A, Syria. Option B, Turkey. Option C, Lebanon. Option D, Egypt. The correct answer for this is option B, Turkey. Recently, Turkey's highest court allowed for the conversion of the nearly 1500-year-old Hagia Sophia from a museum into a mosque. The centuries-old structure, listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, was originally a cathedral in the Byzantine Empire before it was turned into a mosque in 1453. When Constantinople fell to Sultan Mehmed II's Ottoman forces in the 1930s, however, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, the founder of the Republic of Turkey, shut down the mosque and turned it into a museum in an attempt to make the country more secular. The change in status of the Hagia Sophia comes after repeated warnings from the international community, including UNESCO, to ensure that Turkey did not proceed with these plans. Heading to the next question, consider the following statements regarding the International Comparison Program. Statement 1. It is an initiative of the International Monetary Fund. Statement 2. It produces purchasing power parities based gross domestic product for participating economies. Statement 3. As per the International Comparison Program, USA, China and India are the largest economies of the world. Which of the statements given above are correct? Option A, 1 and 2 only. Option B, 2 and 3 only. Option C, 1 and 3 only. Option D, all of the above. The correct answer for this is option B, 2 and 3 only. International Comparison Program 2017 has been released recently. Statement 1 is incorrect. The ICP is managed by the World Bank under the auspices of the United Nations Statistical Commission and relies on a partnership of international, regional, sub-regional and national agencies. Statement 2 is correct. The main objectives of the ICP are to produce purchasing power parities and comparable price level indexes for participating economies, convert volume and per capita measures of gross domestic product and its expenditure components into a common currency using purchasing power parities. Purchasing power parities are calculated based on the price of a common basket of goods and services in each participating economy and are a measure of what an economy's local currency can buy in another economy. Statement 3 is correct. International Comparison Program 2017 notes that the two largest economies in the world in 2017 were China and the United States, each of whom recorded a purchasing power parity based gross domestic product of just under $20 trillion. Together, they accounted for a third of the global economy. Moving on to the next question, consider the following statements regarding Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services. Statement 1. Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services is an independent intergovernmental body established to improve the interface between science and policy on issues of biodiversity and ecosystem services. Statement 2. United Nations Environment Program provides secretariat services to IPBES. India is a member of Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services. Which of the above statements are correct? Option A, 1 and 2. Option B, 1 and 3. Option C, 2 and 3. Option D, 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer for this is option D, 1, 2 and 3. All of the above statements are correct. The Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services is an independent intergovernmental body established by states to strengthen the science policy interface for biodiversity and ecosystem services for the conservation and sustainable use of biodiversity, long-term human well-being and sustainable development. It was established in Panama City on 21st April 2012 by 94 governments. It is not a United Nations body. However, at the request of the IPBES plenary and with the authorization of the UNEP Governing Council in 2013, the United Nations Environment Programme provides secretariat services to the IPBES. International Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services recently has over 134 member states. A large number of NGOs, organizations, conventions, and civil society groupings also participate in the formal IPBES process as observers, with several thousand individual stakeholders ranging from scientific experts to representatives of academic and research institutions, local communities, and the private sector contributing to and benefiting from their work. The work of IPBES can be broadly grouped into 4 complementary areas. Assessments on specific themes, example, pollinators, pollination and food productions. Methodological issues, example, scenarios and modeling, and at both the regional and global levels. Example, global assessment of biodiversity and ecosystem services. Policy support, identifying policy-relevant tools and methodologies, facilitating their use and catalyzing their further development. Building capacity and knowledge, identifying and meeting the priority capacity, knowledge, and data needs of their member states, experts, and stakeholders. Communications and outreach, ensuring the widest reach and impact of their work. Moving on to the next question. Consider the following statements regarding International Financial Services Centres Authority. Statement 1. International Financial Services Centres Authority will regulate financial products such as securities, deposits, financial services, and financial institutions which have been previously approved by any appropriate regulator in an international financial services centers. Statement 2. It will be headquartered in Gujarat. Statement 3. It will be headed by the Union Finance Minister. Which of the above statements are correct? Option A, 1 and 2. Option B, 1 and 3. Option C, 2 and 3. Option D, 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer for this is option A, 1 and 2. The Appointments Committee of the Cabinet has approved the appointment of Injeti Srinivas, a retired IAS officer, as Chairman of International Financial Services Centres Authority. He has been appointed as Chairman of IFSCA for a period of 3 years. Besides the Chairman, IFSCA has a member each nominated from RBI, IRDAI, SEBI and PFRDA. There are also 2 members from the central government and full-time or part-time members in the authority. The Finance Ministry has established the International Financial Services Centres Authority through a notification. The body will be headquartered in Gandhinagar in Gujarat as per the notification. With this, the government has established a unified authority to regulate all financial services in international financial services centers in the country. Currently, the banking, capital markets, and insurance sectors in IFSC are regulated by multiple regulators such as Reserve Bank of India, Securities and Exchange Board of India, and Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. The main function of the authority will be to regulate financial products such as securities, deposits, or contracts of insurance, financial services, and financial institutions which have been previously approved by any appropriate regulator in an IFSC. Moving on to the next question. Consider the following statements regarding the itolizumab drug. Statement 1. It is a humanized monoclonal antibody. Statement 2. It can be used for the treatment of cytokine storm. Which of the statements given above are correct? Option A, 1 only. Option B, 2 only. Option C, both 1 and 2. Option D, neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer for this is option C, both 1 and 2. Itolizumab is a humanized LGG1 monoclonal antibody developed by Biocon Limited that selectively targets CD6 cells. Monoclonal antibodies are antibodies produced by immune cells that are cloned from one parent's immune cell. These antibodies are designed to bind to a specific type of proteins. Humanized antibodies are antibodies from non-human species whose protein sequences have been modified to increase their similarity to antibody variants produced naturally in humans. Cytokine storm is an overreaction of the immune system generating a large number of cytokines that can cause severe damage to the lungs and other organs, and in the worst scenario, multi-organ failure and even death. Itolizumab, by binding to CD6, down-regulates T-cell activation, causes reduction in synthesis of pro-inflammatory cytokines, and possibly plays an important role by reducing T-cell infiltration at sites of inflammation. Moving on to the next question. The Board-Based Trade and Investment Agreement is a proposed agreement between India and which of the following countries' origin? Option A, United Kingdom. Option B, European Union. Option C, United States of America. Option D, African Union. The correct answer for this is option B, European Union. India and the European Union have been negotiating a bilateral board-based trade and investment agreement since 2007. The negotiations cover trade in goods, trade in services, investment, sanitary and phytosanitary measures, technical barriers to trade, rules of origin, customs and trade facilitation, etc. The agreement is long pending due to issues over labor, environment, data security, visa regulations and government procurement. Heading to the next question. Recently, a rare orchid species, Eulopia obtuse, also known as ground orchid, was rediscovered in India after more than 100 years. In which state? Option A, Arunachal Pradesh. Option B, Kerala. Option C, Uttarakhand. Option D, Uttar Pradesh. The correct answer for this is option D, Uttar Pradesh. A rare orchid species, Eulopia obtusa, also known as ground orchid, has been rediscovered in India after forest officials and wildlife experts on a routine inspection in Dudhwa Tiger Reserve, Uttar Pradesh, chanced upon the white flower with bright pink hues. In India, the species is listed as critically endangered in the IUCN Red List of Endangered Species. Was last recorded in Pilibhit in 1902. The species was originally described from Uttarakhand in the 19th century. It was collected by botanists from Gangetic Plains, but there have been no sightings in the past 100 years. In 2008, the plant species was sighted in Bangladesh for the first time. Heading to the next question. Which of the following subjects are listed in the 12th schedule of India's constitution? Option 1, Public Health. Option 2, Planning for Economic and Social Development. Option 3, Minor Forest Produce. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Option A, 1 and 2 only. Option B, 2 only. Option C, 1 and 3 only. Option D, all of the above. The correct answer for this is option A, 1 and 2 only, which means Public Health and Planning for Economic and Social Development. Article 243W, providing for powers, authority and responsibilities of municipalities, states that the legislature of a state may, by law, endow the municipalities with such powers and authority as may be necessary to enable them to function as institutions of self-government, and such law may contain provisions for the devolution of powers and responsibilities upon municipalities subject to such conditions as may be specified therein with respect to the preparation of plans for economic development and social justice, the performance of functions, and the implementation of schemes as may be entrusted to them, including those in relation to the matters listed in the 12th schedule. Moving on to the next question, consider the following pairs. Option 1, Asim Patel, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Udyam Patel, Ministry of MSME. Option 3, Satyabhama Patel, Ministry of Women and Child Development. Which of the statements given above are correct? Option A, 1 only. Option B, 1 and 2. Option C, 2 and 3. Option D, 1, 2 and 3. The correct option for this is option B, 1 and 2. Union Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship launched Atmanirbhar Skilled Employee-Employer Mapping ASWM portal to help skilled people find sustainable livelihood opportunities. The Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises (MSMEs) launched a new portal for MSME registration, Udyam Portal. The Ministry of Coal, Mines and Parliamentary Affairs launched Satyabhama Science and Technology Yojana for Atmanirbhar Bharat in Mining Advancement Portal for Science and Technology Program Scheme of Ministry of Mines on 15 June 2020. The portal has been designed, developed and implemented by National Informatics Center, Mines Informatics Division. Moving on to the next question. Bosnia and Herzegovina, often known informally as Bosnia, is a country located in option A, Balkan Peninsula, option B, Labrador Peninsula, option C, Scandinavian Peninsula, option D, Iberian Peninsula. The correct answer for this is option A, Balkan Peninsula. On July 11th, 25 years on, commemoration services were held at the Srebrenica Pottery Memorial and Cemetery in remembrance of the victims of the massacre. In July 1995, approximately 8,000 Muslims, mostly men and boys, were killed in Srebrenica, a town in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Bosnia and Herzegovina, often known informally as Bosnia, is a country in South and Southeast Europe, located within the Balkans Peninsula. So this is the end of today's video. We hope you really liked the video. So please like and share our video and subscribe to our channel for the upcoming videos and press the bell icon for further notifications. Thank you.